Vance Russell to an open Cade McIntyre, and he gone.
My name is Vance.
My name's James.
And we are the Inside the Pocket podcast. How's it going? My name is Vance.
And I'm James. And we are the Inside the Pocket podcast.
So today we're going to be looking at the mock draft done by Brendan Donahue.
Yeah, not Mel Kiper.
Not Mel Kiper.
You cannot trust him at all.
This guy is one of the most accurate mock drafters in the world. Last year, he pretty much got all the top 10 picks.
It was spot on.
Correct. It was spot on.
Beautiful.
It was a great mock draft. So we're going to start it out with our first pick. And with the first pick, the
Tennessee Titans are going to pick Cam Ward. It's basically confirmed at this point.
Yeah.
Multiple sources basically confirm it. He is the new franchise quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. And boy, oh boy, do they need that.
Yeah, they definitely do. I remember there was a report that came out about last week where he said his top 4 receivers were number 1, Calvin Ridley, number 2, Justin Jefferson, number 3, Jamar Chase, and number 4, Treylon Burks.
Treylon Burks?
I
have not heard of his name since he got drafted at 1 year. That's how forgettable of a draft pick he is.
He's super forgettable, so, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious.
And he was the replation for A.J. Brown, by the way.
Yeah, he was, which is crazy.
Horrible.
Yeah. So, I think it's pretty obvious that Cam Ward's going first, but we're going to move into our second pick. This is a big one.
The Cleveland Browns. Who are they going to pick?
I'm thinking we all know who this is going to be. So, boom. They're gonna select Travis Hunter. You know, this guy's generational cornerback, wide receiver. He plays both sides of the ball. He's dangerous on the field. He's dangerous off the field. You know,
he's
a dog.
This generation's Deion Sanders.
Genuinely,
no doubt about it.
And I think it's gonna be big for the Cleveland Browns. You know, it's not gonna make them better. Not with massage therapist Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
Not at all.
So they're really gonna need to take some steps and probably draft a quarterback later in the rounds. Maybe Tyler Show. Maybe good.
Who knows?
We'll see.
But next pick we have the New York Giants, and they are gonna pick Abdul Carter from Penn State. And this guy, there's no introduction for this guy. This guy is an absolute menace on the field. He just reminds me of Micah Parsons. He's wearing his number 2.
Yep.
Exact comparison.
Penn State,
to him.
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfect comparison. He can play stand-up. He can play on the edge. He can do whatever you need to. You know, coming off of an ACL injury, though, there are some concerns whether or not he's going to be ready for training camp. So, you know, they're going to continue to monitor that. But I think this is a great pick for the New York Giants, you know.
This could be their next Lawrence Taylor.
This could be. And I think with Russell Wilson in there and Abdul Carter coming off the edge on defense.
Or Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
J-Mo.
W's. So with the 4th pick, we're now moving on to the New England Patriots. And, you know, the New England Patriots, they did okay in free agency, but one spot on their team that they're really missing is O-line.
Is the left side especially. Yeah. And this man coming up, he's going to be good. He's going to be the role of
There are some concerns about his arm length, but the New England Patriots are going to select Will Campbell. Will Campbell's like pretty much a generational left tackle out of LSU. He can play guard, tackle. He can play anywhere on the O-line. He's super good. He does have a little bit of short arms, but he's never let that define him while he's been at LSU. So I think it's going to be an interesting pick, and I really think that getting protection for Drake May is really important.
Exactly.
And I think
that's going to be really important. Obviously, Drake May, he had so many rushing yards because he was scrambling for his life last year. So this is really going to help out. This is definitely their biggest need this offseason. They added Stephon Diggs at receiver. He's going to have more help on the receiver.
Yeah. And I mean, Mike Vrabel's big on his O-line. As we could see when he was with the Titans with Derrick Henry, Taylor Lewan, that O-line was just crazy. So I think building up the O-line is going to be huge for this team, and I think we're going to see the Patriots prosper a little bit for the first time.
Hopefully not. As a Dolphins fan, I don't want to see that. Yeah. I just want us to finally win a playoff game.
I think we're still going to beat them as the Bears, so that's all I'm going to say.
But going into the 5th pick in this draft, it's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of people have been saying Ashton Genty, but no, this is going to be Mason Graham from Michigan. And this guy, he does the job, bro. Yeah. Absolutely.
He's just crazy, man. He just wreaks havoc in the middle. You can't have a good O-line and still protect this guy. You're going to need to double team, triple team this man because he's just going to blow up the entire interior of that offensive line.
Gives me a little bit of Aaron Donald vibes with him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he definitely gives some Aaron Donald vibes.
Prime Calais Campbell too.
Yeah. He's gonna be big for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll see if that really comes to fruition. This next pick, this one hurts as a Bears fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So we're really hoping that this man falls past the 6th pick, but realistically, he probably won't.
This man is a generational talent. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Generational
I think
talent.
one team's got to pick him early, and it's probably gonna be this team right here.
Yeah. So with the 6th selection, the Las Vegas Raiders pick Ashton Genty. So Mountain West running back.
Yeah,
arguably,
terrorized the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Every single team that he played.
He went crazy.
I know.
And he's going to wreak havoc no matter what team he's on. He's a little bit undersized, but he didn't let that stop him. He had the most broken tackles.
Robbed of Heisman, in my opinion. I think he was my Heisman winner, in my opinion. Travis Hunter, obviously generational talent, but man, you're not going to see running back seasons like that ever.
No, ever. This is one of the greatest running back seasons of all time, and I think Ashton Genty is going to come in and make a huge difference for the Raiders. Yeah.
So 7th pick, the New York Jets. Of course, New York teams are always at the bottom, and Aaron Rodgers last year, he was running for his life too.
Yep.
And with Justin Fields, he's a rushing quarterback, but he wants to be a pocket passer.
Yep.
So in this year, they're gonna add Armand Membo from Missouri, and that is gonna be much needed protection because once again, the Jets O-line is just not good. No. And obviously Tyron Smith, he was there for a year last year, retired. He just could not handle that organization. I wouldn't either, personally. The Jets have been terrible at draft picks, but maybe this might be the O-line that can, boost up their line.
Yeah, and I think the new coach, Aaron Glenn's going to make a big difference on this team. He's bringing in that mentality that he got from Detroit with Dan Campbell, that we're going to go in, we're going to play some snot-nosed football and knock some people out. So I think that this is a really big pick, and I think he's going to create a lot of havoc to defensive ends.
This is definitely going to add to their run game. I feel like they did not run the ball as much as they should have, especially with Breece Hall.
Yeah.
He was definitely an underperformer last year.
100%.
And with that extra line protection, you're going to get him a lot more rushing attempts, especially Justin Fields with the play action and the run pass option.
Yeah. It's going to be really good. So with the 8th pick, we have the Carolina Panthers. And the Carolina Panthers, they kind of turned it around last season.
Yeah. I really like their offense, how they're cooking at the end.
Yeah. So to build off of what their offense is doing, you need to kind of stack up the defense. So with the 8th pick, the Carolina Panthers will select Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker is a generational edge talent coming out of Georgia. He's going to be good, man. I mean, there are a few character issues with this guy, but I've heard that those things aren't exactly always accurate, When somebody's in a really good position to become a drafted person, people like to kind of talk about them and stuff.
Yeah, and that is definitely a big hole for the Panthers that they need to fill because a lot of the game, the Panthers are putting up points last year. They almost beat the Chiefs and all those teams, but their defense was their weak point. They just cannot get a stop at the end. They lost to the Bucs in overtime. They couldn't stop them. Then losing to the Chiefs. So having just that edge rusher just to get to the quarterback because they lost Brian Burns 2 years ago and they still need to fill that hole up.
Yeah, they definitely do need to fill that, but there's a lot of buzz around this draft pick. So honestly, if he falls to this pick at 8, he's going to be an immediate take for whatever team is around that range. He could go earlier. Realistically, I think he may. So
dude, there's just a lot of talent in this draft. It's really amazing to see. And then going into the New Orleans Saints, there is obviously a big question at quarterback because Derek Carr, he's probably gonna be out for
the season
with that shoulder still. So it's either Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders. It's gonna be Jackson Dart. Obviously with Ole Miss, he had a great season, a great career there. Obviously the Saints, they've not really found anyone since Drew Brees, and this season, he could have. There's obviously gonna be bumps in the rookie year, but I think that I can see a lot of good things from him, especially with the receiver corps with Chris Olave and all them.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good for Jackson Dart to get into a position to start. And I mean, he's gonna be competing against Spencer Rattler. It's Spencer Rattler.
He's better the starting job.
Yeah, and I mean Jackson Dart. He has the ability. He's going to be one of those boomer bust guys. He's either going to be really good or he's going to be a backup for the rest of his career. It's kind of not in the middle.
And this is a chance to get because the quarterback room is just so weak there.
Yep. It is. So moving on to the 10th pick, we have my Chicago Bears. Bear down, baby. Bear down, baby. We have them selecting Tyler Warren out of Penn State.
I don't like this pick.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of meh. But
yeah, and then San Francisco, they're gonna take Kelvin Banks Jr. from Texas.
Yep.
You know, their offensive line is getting injured, so they have a great offensive line, but they just can't seem to stay healthy.
Yep. And then we're gonna move on to the Dallas Cowboys. They're gonna go Tet McMillan.
I like this pick.
I do too.
I really
do. So I think Tet McMillan is going to be huge for them.
Yep. And then at 13, my Miami Dolphins. We are going to take Mr. Will Johnson from Michigan. This is a necessity for us because we're probably going to be losing Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
And the rest of our secondary is absolutely terrible. So we need this man right now. I'll
100%.
take him or offensive lineman. That's what we need.
Yep. At 14, we have the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to be going Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland's a pretty good tight end out of Michigan. He's going to wreak a lot of havoc for the defense. He's going to be really good over the middle and really good outside. So. Yep.
And then Atlanta, another edge rusher, Mike Green from Marshall. Obviously, these towns right here from these schools, not the biggest schools, but these guys can wreak havoc. Like,
they're going to be
really
good.
Can. Yeah.
Next pick, the Arizona Cardinals at 16. It's predicted that they're going to get Mykel Williams, really good edge out of Georgia. So that's 2 Georgia edges going in the first round, which is pretty crazy. We kind of saw this a few years ago where they took like 8 Georgia guys in the first round or something.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
And then Cincinnati, it looks like they're going to take Derek Harmon from Oregon, another great addition to that defensive line. Obviously, there's some questions, though, with that line because Trey Hendrickson, there's still a lot of questions there. So we'll see what happens there.
Yep. And at number 18, the Seattle Seahawks are going to get Gray Zabel, an O-lineman out of North Dakota State. So
don't know much about him.
He's okay. He's pretty good.
And then Tampa Bay, looks like they're going to take a linebacker to go with Devin White. Actually, no. Devin White's not even on the Bucs. Nope. John Campbell from Alabama. So they're going to take that. I like that pick, to be honest.
Yeah, I do too.
Looks good,
I think he's going to be solid, and I think he's one of those players that we're going to look back in a few years and be like, man, that was a great pick.
There is some medical concerns with him too, so it's all about him just staying healthy.
Yeah, 100%. At number 20, we have the Denver Broncos. They're going to be selecting running back Omarion Hampton. So this is going to help out Bo Nix a lot. I think taking the pressure off the passing game by getting a dangerous running back like Omarion Hampton is going to be huge.
Definitely, because I think the Javonte Williams experiment is over.
Yeah.
He's solid, but I don't think just for franchise running back, not there. Yep. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously, they need a quarterback, and Shedeur Sanders is coming off the board at 21.
Yep.
So Shedeur, I think he could do really well in this offense, especially if he gets like a veteran presence as his backup to learn from his mistakes. So,
I think so too. But he's gonna be showing his ice in Pittsburgh, and I think it's gonna be good. The next pick at number 22, we have the Los Angeles Chargers, and they're gonna go with Kenneth Grant, D lineman. Yep.
And then the Green Bay Packers, Matthew Golden for receiver. I swear the Packers are always picking like just mid receivers, but I think this one can finally be a good fit. He's got the speed and the athleticism to go out for the ball.
Yep. At number 24, we have the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to be selecting Nick Emenwari. So Nick Emenwari is a safety out of South Carolina. He's a dog.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Do the Vikings still have Harrison Smith?
They do, yeah. They just re-signed him.
That's right. You're right. And then Houston Texans at 25, Tyler Booker from Alabama. Another good piece for that Texans offensive line. Obviously, they lost Laramie Tunsil this offseason, that blockbuster trade. So adding more to that line is going to be very crucial for C.J. Stroud.
100%. At number 26, the Los Angeles Rams select Jahdae Barron, a cornerback out of Texas. I don't know much about this guy, but, go get him, I guess. Yeah, the Rams need something, so
yep,
I guess
and
that'll
then
work.
Baltimore, another edge rusher, this one from Texas A&M, Shamor Stewart. I like this pick a lot. I think he's in this mock draft, at least he dropped down a little bit just because there's so much edge rusher talent. And then the Ravens, honestly, I don't really know their pass rushers. No. So they need a pass rusher, that's for sure.
At number 28, we have the Detroit Lions. They're going to be selecting Donovan Izuraku. He is he's a defensive end from Boston College. He's solid. You know, I don't think he's the best.
Yeah.
But I think he's a solid pick. And I think with Dan Campbell, they're really good at picking up guys who are going to be dangerous. And I think that this guy's going to be dangerous. So.
Yep. And then for the third pick in a row, another edge rusher, James Pierce from Tennessee, another dog out there on the field. And the Commanders, once again, I don't know many pass rushers on that team. And I think that's one of the holes that they need to fill. So
100%.
You got one there in the draft.
Yeah, James Pierce Jr., he has a few character issues, but
yeah,
I think you know, there's a little bit of stuff being said about him, but realistically, he'll probably be a good player.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is in this college day. There's just one mess up in your life and it's all ruined.
Yeah, we can see that with Georgia.
So many wide receivers from college.
Yeah,
like it's
been pretty bad. But at number 30, the Buffalo Bills, they select Malachi Starks. So this is a guy I've been watching for a really long time. Malachi Starks he's a dog. He's good, and I think he's going to be really good for this Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and then Kansas City. Obviously, in that Super Bowl, that Eagles line absolutely destroyed the offensive line. Like, it was not even close. Mm-hmm. And so, which means Josh Simmons from Ohio State is going to Kansas City.
Yep.
The Super Bowl game will explain why they need another offensive line on their team.
It's gonna be a really solid pick. At number 32, we have the Super Bowl winner Philadelphia Eagles, and they're gonna be selecting Walter Nolan, a D lineman from Ole Miss.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Because their D line, like we're just talking about, already amazing. Just
super good.
Adding even more talent, it's kind of interesting, but it's also kind of scary to like. If like one of them gets injured, you're just gonna have another solid backup to go in the game.
Me personally, at this pick for number 32 at the Philadelphia Eagles, I would personally select a running back to sit behind.
Yeah, because Barkley can't do everything.
No, and if you're splitting reps with Barkley and a guy like, you know, pretty much anybody, Travion Henderson would be really good at that pick. Pretty much anybody else would be really good. You know, I think going with D-line is cool. But you have one of the best D-lines in the NFL.
Just taking a little bit of the pressure off of Barkley and then Hurts whenever he runs the ball.
Yeah, especially because they're both aging. You know, it's good to find somebody to back them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our mock draft today.
I'm very excited about the draft 2 days from now. Yep. Hopefully the Dolphins get it right. I hope the Bears don't get it right.
No, I hope the Bears get it right. But yeah, this has been the Inside the Pocket podcast. My name is Vance.
And I'm James.
Thank you for watching.
Let's go.